I've actually got popcorn stuck in my teeth. Just had some popcorn. Hi, it's me, Keith Lemon, and welcome to a bit of movie craft here on Keith Lemon's Doings. Today I'm looking at E.T. the Extraterrestrial. It's quintessential Steven Spielberg. If you haven't seen E.T. the Extraterrestrial, then let me tell you a little bit about E.T. the Extraterrestrial if you don't know about E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Everybody's seen E.T., surely, unless you're 2 years of age. So E.T. the Extraterrestrial is a story about an alien that is left on Earth and befriends a boy called Elliot, played by Henry Thomas. Here's a little clip of Henry Thomas auditioning for the part as Elliot.
You can't take him away, he's mine!
But it's not my choice. The president asked me to come here and get him.
I don't care what the president says, he's my best friend!
Okay, kid, you got the job.
That's exactly what my audition was like for Celebrity Juice. And it's constantly in that round shitting.
Okay, kid, you got the job.
It also stars a very young Drew Barrymore as Gertie.
You wanna call somebody?
And Robert McNaughton, who plays the role of Mike, the older brother, who since has quit Hollywood and I think now is a postman. But yeah, E.T. comes down to Earth, plant collecting, and gets left on Earth, befriends Elliot. Elliot brings him in, who camps out in his garden. Imagine camping out in your garden. I'd be terrified. Not in a tent, just in a just drop DVD. In a camp bed waiting for an alien. E.T. comes out of the shed looking like a stinking sweaty sausage. But he's not that scared of him. Actually, the previous night he goes out into the crop field with his torch and sees E.T. and there's a little scene there where he's like that. But then the following night he goes out again into his garden on his camp bed, waits for E.T. to come out of the shed. E.T. comes out and puts some Skittles on his bed. It ain't Skittles, it's M&M's. Ain't M&M's at all, it's Reese Pieces. But when I was a little kid, I always thought it was M&M's or Skittles. I didn't know what Reese Pieces were because that's American for M&M's, which is also American. So he brings E.T. into the house. E.T. falls asleep. He pretends to be sick the next day. His mum goes to work. He's at home all day with E.T. by himself. What's going to happen? It shows him some Star Wars figures, tells him what a car is, tells him some things about Earth. Then Gertie, his sister, comes home, played by Drew Barrymore. And then we see another one of these. See another one of those scenes. Elliot grows a connection with E.T. He feels E.T.'s feelings. Bit hard to understand that when you're a 9-year-old boy. I was like, what? What's he doing? And I was still a bit unnerved by E.T. as appearance, even though as a 9-year-old boy, I fell in love with E.T. I thought, what a lovely little creature. I want to meet an E.T. You know what I did? I got some cardboard feet and I pressed them into the mud in a forest and I said to my mates, look, E.T.'s visit me as well. And they're like, has he? And then about 4 years later, I said, remember when I said E.T. came to visit me? Going, yeah, I was just making it up. Then, yeah, we know. So E.T.'s in Elliot's house. He needs to go back home. He wants to phone home. So they build a communicator using a speak and spell. Obviously, if you're going to phone home to your planet that's light years away, what you're going to use? You're going to use a speak and spell. This is the same ones they use in the film with raised buttons. But when I was a kid, I actually won a speak and spell for drawing how I imagined E.T.'s planet to look. And this is the actual speak and spell that I won back in the day. Different kind of buttons to the ones in the film. This is the British version. But I can remember thinking, made by Texas Instruments. Was this made in Texas? That's incredible. So they sneak E.T. out of the house dressed as a ghost on Halloween. They take him to the forest where they set up the communicator. And then the next morning, what happens the next morning? Elliot's mum is worried sick. He can't find E.T. He goes back home. Oh, where have you been? Where have you been? And then Elliot says to Michael, he's in the forest, Michael. You got to find him. He finds E.T. Goes out on his BMXs, because I remember back then everyone wanted a BMX because they saw BMXs in E.T. I forgot to mention on Halloween he flies over the moon. Now, why am I going to miss that bit out? Flies over the moon. Incredible times. Anyway, this is all higgledy-piggledy, innit? But I'm just going off what I can remember. He gets E.T. who's gone all white and shriveled up in a little stream next to a raccoon from the cartoon raccoons. I don't think it's actually a raccoon from the cartoon raccoons because it's a real raccoon. I'm just being daft. But E.T. is like that. It looks like he's got talcum powder all over him. He's all shriveled up. He don't look well. They bring him back home and they go, Mum, remember the alien? Well, this is the alien. Look, and he goes, Mom. And then suddenly loads of spacemen from the authorities, from council, come and put a big rubber johnny over Elliot's house. I guess to keep any infection or anything that you might get from the alien. E.T. dies, and as he dies, because Elliot feels his feelings, he feels like he's dying too, but he doesn't die. Anyway, E.T. comes back alive. They get E.T. And drive away in one of the council's white vans, and the council are all following, and the police and the authorities. Anyway, they get E.T. into the front of a basket onto the BMX and getting chased by police and some wicked music. I'm not doing music. Suddenly they're trapped by the police, and what happens? They fly over the moon. Dignified, it's the sunset. Now, E.T. was released twice with new bits put in it. In the new version of it, they took out the authorities' guns. That's back then when I said guns. But originally they had guns, and they took those out and put walkie-talkies in there. I guess to make it more family-friendly. In the 80s, I guess they didn't give a shit, did they? And just thought, put guns in. What you on about, Jonesy? Put a gun in. So Elliot and the rest of his mates on the BMXs fly past the sun this time. Remember, they turned that into a jigsaw puzzle that I didn't really care about. Well, I did care about it a bit because it was E.T., but I didn't care about jigsaw puzzles. Just not into jigsaw puzzles. They land in the forest. E.T.'s spaceship comes out. You mean comes down? They have a kiss and a cuddle. I'll be right here with his lighty up finger, because his lighty up finger cures you if you cut your finger. Gertie gives E.T. a plant. Then he goes back off home. And, first of all, he says, I'll be right here. I think it means in his mind you'll always remember it. And we thought, is he going to come back? It goes into the spaceship. The dog goes, and you think the dog's going to go with him too, and he don't go in. And then the spaceship flies off and leaves a rainbow. And the last shot is Elliot looking up at the sky. It's quintessential Steven Spielberg. Said that already. But then again, so is Jaws. But if you haven't seen it, and I can't believe you haven't seen it, you must see E.T. It's an incredible film that you can watch over and over. The effects haven't dated, as the flying bike stated. No, it all looks good. It all looks good. The puppet E.T. looks good. In the CGI bits that they added in the second release of it, I wasn't mad keen on the CGI bits. The puppet of E.T. is the one. Anyway, why am I talking about E.T.? Because we're going to make E.T. Now, previously, I've already made a life-size E.T. about 20 years ago, so I didn't film myself making it, but you know what? I've still got it. Here he is, my life-size E.T. that I made about 20 years ago, maybe longer. He's made out of bubble wrap, masking tape, and packaging, all the tapes, and then covered in PVA glue, and I think that's why he's held together really well. His eyes are made out of Kinder Egg packaging, and they're on a little joint. Well, actually, it's on like a pencil. I can't describe how I did it. Just so you could move his eyes if you so wanted to move his eyes. There he is, all the body. This E.T. that I made has a lighty up finger. There's a little button in his arm. You can light up his finger. You can't see. Let's turn this light down. Let's turn it down. Can you see his finger? Oh, you can see it lighting up, can't you? You can. I'll tell you what. I'll turn the lights off and you can see it totally. Can you see it? That's E.T.'s finger. I guess I should put new batteries in it to light up a bit brighter. These batteries have been in since time. A lot of people have requested that I make an E.T., but I've already made an E.T. So what I'm going to do is make a 10-inch E.T. that you can put on your shelf and go, look at that E.T. I made E.T. Do you want a beer? Let's do this. So what I do is I always start off with some tin foil. I get the basic shape with tin foil. I've got some eyes there, which I got from Amazon as well. You can get a bag of eyes for about £6, I think. So yeah, sculpt the shape of E.T. with tin foil, just normal tin foil that you buy from Tesco's or Asda or Sainsbury's. You can see it's starting to take the shape of E.T. now, and I'll probably say that in Vision now. And there you have it, tinfoil E.T. now covering in Super Sculpey. It's as easy as peas. So this is Super Sculpey. I've showed you this before in my previous videos when I've been making things. It looks like plasticine or plasticine or plasticine. How did I say plasticine? I say plasticine, but my mates say plasticine. They say that I've called posh, but I've always called plasticine plasticine and not plasticine. I call plasters instead of plasters as well. But I'm not posh. But I wish I was. It'd be nice to be posh, wouldn't it? Anyway, it looks like this. This is a block of lard. No, it is plasticine. You bung this in the oven for 15 minutes at 135 degrees. I've told you that before. This is what it is. I'm going to squash it now in this chunk of that in there, and it comes out in sheets. Let's do that. Pop it in there. So stick it in the top and just roll it through like you would make pasta or pasta. There, comes out like that. Then I will wrap this with this, like strips of bacon. So there, it's all covered in Super Sculpey. Now I'll work on the details and such. Slowly but surely you can see he's starting to resemble E.T. now. Just keep working on his face and then I'll have to do the whole body. Sculpting. TV presenter and sculptor. Oh, lockdown. Anyway, let's keep crafting. There he is. I think he's finished. I'm going to pop him in the oven now, 15 minutes. Then I will paint him. I think that's it. Looks pretty much like E.T. to me. Don't want to do any more just in case I fudge it up. E.T. out of Super Sculpey. Okay, I'm painting him now. I'm using just simple acrylic paints. That's all I'm using, just acrylic paints. And there he is, E.T. the extraterrestrial, made out of Super Sculpey tin foil, bits and parts and Bob's your uncle. Like and subscribe. If I don't see you throughout week, I'll see you throughout winter. Good luck with your business. All best. See ya. Or subscribe and whatever. I don't know what you say.